You ever come across one of those theories that's just so huge, it tries to connect things like the moon landing, secret societies, and global politics into one single massive story? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're going to map out a viral conspiracy theory piece by piece just to understand how it's all put together. Let's jump in. So, every part of this whole theory, every single thread, starts with this one big question. It takes what we see as one of humanity's greatest moments and flips it on its head, asking, what if the whole thing was just a performance?
And this quote from the source video, man, it really sets the tone. It's not just a little skeptical, it's totally dismissive. The argument here is that buying the official story is basically like believing in Santa Claus in space. You know, a fairy tale for adults that we're all just supposed to accept.
Okay, so where do you even start with a theory this big? Well, this one doesn't begin way back with Apollo. It starts with NASA's very recent Artemis mission. The video zooms right in on what it calls anomalies, little visual details that it claims just don't make any sense.
All right, check this out. This is the first piece of visual evidence they put on the table. The theory goes like this. To get a picture of the dark side of Earth, you'd need a long camera exposure to get enough light. Simple enough, right? But that same long exposure should make the brightly lit astronaut inside the capsule just a blinding white blur. And yet, in the official photo, you can see both the dark Earth and the astronaut perfectly clearly. The video just asks, how is that even possible?
Then, the focus shifts to the rocket itself. The video starts pointing out things that seem off, like an exposed pipe running up the side, these clunky square brackets, and fabric that they say looks like it belongs on a bouncy house. The argument is pretty straightforward. At the incredible speeds a rocket travels, these things would be ripped off in an instant. They even compare it to the super sleek SR-71 spy plane and ask, why does a multi-billion-dollar rocket look, well, less aerodynamic?
And the critique doesn't stop with the hardware. It goes after the quality of NASA's images too. To make this point, the creator of the video literally made their own image with AI in just 5 minutes and argues that it looks more real than the official stuff. It's all designed to make you think, wait a minute.
This brings up a whole other question about priorities. We're talking about a $93 billion mission. So the video asks, why does all the footage seem to be of astronauts doing kind of boring stuff inside? Where are the mind-blowing, majestic videos of space? The kind of grandeur you'd expect? It's just not there, they argue.
Okay, and this is where the theory takes a really sharp turn. The whole argument shifts from finding what looked like mistakes to decoding what it claims is a hidden pattern. The idea here is that these aren't accidents at all. They're supposedly intentional clues, left for those who are paying attention.
And right at the very center of this supposed code is one single number, 33. According to the source, this isn't just a random number, it's a signature. And once you're told to look for it, well, you start seeing it pop up all over the place.
I mean, just look at this slide. This is how many times the video claims to find the number 33. It's in the rocket's thrust, the capsule's living space, its height, even the mission name itself, Artemis II, apparently adds up to 33 in Gematria, which is this ancient system of numerology. The source presents this less as a coincidence and more as a deliberate calling card.
And it doesn't even stop at 33. The rocket's height, 322 feet, is immediately connected to 322, the infamous number of the Skull and Bones secret society. This is meant to suggest a link to these powerful, shadowy groups that operate behind the scenes. From there, the theory just dives headfirst into what it calls occult symbolism. It claims a tattoo seen on an astronaut is actually the symbol for an ancient deity named Baal. Then it jumps to pop culture, arguing that a patch Katy Perry wore, when you flip it upside down, is the very same symbol. And finally, it connects the mission name Artemis back to Apollo, her twin brother, suggesting this is all just a continuation of the same old lie.
And now, just when you think you have a handle on it, the theory expands, dramatically. It takes all this alleged deception at NASA and starts weaving it into a much, much bigger political web, connecting it all to powerful people and major world events.
So the source brings in this quote to offer a completely different interpretation of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The argument presented is that this wasn't just a random act, it was a symbolic ritual. The specific injury to the ear, it's claimed, has an ancient meaning tied to servitude and masters. This next quote is used to argue that there's a deliberate effort by Trump's allies to frame his political battles in, messianic terms. The source claims this isn't just politics anymore. It's about building a kind of religious story around a political figure. Then, the theory lays out this timeline, which it presents as proof of a high-stakes political blackmail operation.
First, Melania Trump holds a press conference and denies having a personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Then, literally minutes later, these photos drop online. The video interprets this sequence as a deliberate public warning shot, a way to control foreign policy.
So, after all those pieces, the weird photos, the numerology, the political drama, the video finally gets to its grand finale. It tries to answer the one question that hangs over everything.
I mean, really, why? If any of this were true, what could possibly be the reason? Why would anyone go to such incredible lengths across generations to pull off a deception this massive?
The answer, according to the source, is actually pretty simple, but incredibly profound. The entire conspiracy, from the very beginning, is designed to hide one fundamental truth: the real nature of the world we live in.
And this quote is how it all connects. The video argues that the core belief that we live on a globe, a space ball, is the foundational lie. It's the lie that makes all the other forms of deception and control even possible.
And right here, the video reveals what it believes is the ultimate motive. It's all about spiritual control. The argument is that if you can convince people that they're just an accident, living on a tiny rock in a vast, meaningless universe, well, then they'll feel small and insignificant. And people who feel small are easier to control.
The creator of this whole theory really sums up their entire worldview with this one line. They aren't asking you to believe them. In fact, they're telling you to stop believing altogether and to start knowing for yourself by questioning absolutely everything.
And that really brings us to the final question to think about. The source material is framed as a huge call for critical thinking, but in the process of tearing down one worldview, it asks you to consider another one that's just as complex. It kind of leaves you wondering, where exactly is the line between thinking critically and just adopting a new set of beliefs?